African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 31st of October, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of Forces in the Kharkiv direction inflicted defeat on formations of the 57th Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the 112th Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Volchansk and Okremovka in the Kharkiv region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 55 servicemen, 2 vehicles, and 2 122mm D-30 howitzers. Units of the West Group of Forces improved their tactical position, inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 14th, 30th, 116th Mechanized Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the areas of the settlements of Kupiansk, Petropavlovka, and Golubovka in the Kharkiv region. 6 counterattacks by assault groups of the 28th and 44th Mechanized Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were repelled. The enemy lost up to 610 servicemen, a tank, 5 armored combat vehicles, 4 pickups, a Polish-made 155mm Krab self-propelled artillery mount, a 122mm Gvozdika self-propelled artillery mount, a 122mm D-30 howitzer, a 100mm Raptor anti-tank gun, a 105mm M119 gun, 2 US-made and /TPQ-50 counter-battery radars, and 2 Anklavin electronic warfare stations. 3 field ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Troops continued advancing deep into the enemy's defenses, defeated the formations of the 24th, 33rd, 54th, 72nd Mechanized, 46th Airmobile, 79th Airborne Assault, 10th Mountain Assault Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the 18th National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Anovka, Zalizniansk, Chasov-Yar, Dalny, Romanovka, Kurakovo, Nikiforovka, Seversk, and Slavyansk of the Donetsk People's Republic. Repulsed a counterattack by units of the 25th Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The enemy's losses amounted to 810 servicemen, a tank, an infantry fighting vehicle, a Cossack armored fighting vehicle, 9 vehicles, a 155mm M777 howitzer and 2 105mm M119 guns made in the USA, a 152mm D-20 gun, 2 122mm D-30 howitzers, an Israeli-made IEMHR radar system, an Anklavin electronic warfare station, and 3 ammunition depots. Units of the Center Group of Forces occupied more advantageous positions, inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 59th Motorized Infantry, 93rd, 100th, 151st Mechanized, 25th Airborne Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 35th Marine Brigade and the 119th Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Vozdvizhenka, Dzerzhinsk, Kurakovka, Zaria, Krasnoy, and Dmitrov of the Donetsk People's Republic. 11 counterattacks by the 93rd Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the 15th National Guard Brigade were repelled. The enemy lost up to 565 servicemen, 5 armored combat vehicles, 2 cars, a 152mm Stb howitzer, 3 152mm D-20 guns, and 2 122mm D-30 howitzers. Units of the East Military Group, as a result of active and decisive actions, liberated the settlement of Yasnaya Polyana in the Donetsk People's Republic. The 58th Motorized Infantry and 152nd Jaeger Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were defeated in the areas of the settlements of Velika Novosayolka and Razdolnoy of the Donetsk People's Republic. A counterattack by units of the 37th Marine Brigade was repelled. The enemy's losses amounted to 100 servicemen, 2 combat armored vehicles, 6 cars, and a 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Caesar made in France. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 110th Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 121st, 124th, and 126th Territorial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Belozerka, Kazatskoye, Tokarevka in the Kherson region, and the city of Kherson. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 90 servicemen, 3 vehicles, a 152mm Stubby howitzer, 2 152mm D-20 guns, a 122mm Gvozdika self-propelled artillery unit, a 105mm M119 gun made in the USA, and 2 Enklavin electronic warfare stations. 3 field ammunition depots were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of the Russian Armed Forces groups damaged the infrastructure of military airfields, ammunition and fuel and lubricant depots, as well as concentrations of enemy manpower and military equipment in 135 areas. Air defense systems shot down 11 U.S.-made HIMARS multiple launch rockets, 2 French-made Hammer guided aerial bombs, and 95 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. Since the beginning of the special military operation, a total of 647 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 34,945 unmanned aerial vehicles, 584 anti-aircraft missile systems, 18,927 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,482 multiple launch rocket system combat vehicles, 17,059 field artillery pieces and mortars, and 27,781 special military vehicles have been destroyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.